There's a report that just came out. Seton, do you have that from Mary Kay Cabot, who covers the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Plain Dealer? It has to do with Baker Mayfield. Do you have the exact language on that, Seton?
I don't have the exact language in front of me, but she basically said that unless there were reassurances given to him for next season, that he would ask to be traded.
Trade him. Bye-bye. That's it. I got no problem with it. And I had a feeling it was going this way. They need to do soul searching about who their quarterback is. And part of the other equation is he may want out. And I've had a feeling all along it was going to come to this. So, no, Baker, you haven't been good enough to make demands. Tom Brady can make demands. Aaron Rodgers can make demands. Russell Wilson can make demands. Baker, you haven't done enough to make demands. If this is the way he's going to be, they're better off moving on from him.
And you start to look at, when you have these musical chairs with these quarterbacks in the offseason. Let's say Rodgers stays. So Denver's in the market. Cleveland will be in the market. I don't know if the Dolphins are still in the market. I guess they will be. You can throw Carolina in there. There's a Washington football team. There's only so many quality quarterbacks who are going to be available, and I don't know if any of these draft picks are a draft me now and I play right away. How do you see this scenario playing out in the offseason?
Well, the first step is what happens with the coaches, because I think that has a huge influence on decisions that are made about quarterbacks and quarterbacks making decisions about where they want to go, starting with Russell Wilson. If Pete Carroll stays as the head coach of the Seahawks, he's more likely to want to move on. If they move on from Carroll and they hire a guy that Russell Wilson looks at and says, boy, this guy's going to rejuvenate my career and help me get to the 3 Super Bowls that he openly said last week he aspires to win. I mean, unless he's going to play until he's 80, he better find himself in a spot where he's more likely to win Super Bowls sooner rather than later. So the coaching carousel is going to drive it. And, we're seeing this every year now, Dan. I think because teams have become willing to let the bird in the hand go. The quarterback who's just good enough. Okay, it's fine. We have a guy who's just good enough, but we can do better. And we're going to try to do better. And you see a greater willingness from teams to say, we're willing to part with the guy we have in the hopes of finding someone better. The Carolina Panthers are the epitome of that right now. They desperately want a franchise quarterback. They threw out Teddy Bridgewater. They're going to throw out Sam Darnold. They're going to throw out Cam Newton, and they're going to keep looking for better. And I think a lot of teams feel that way.
Yeah, I just wonder if you could see a scenario where Russell Wilson goes to Cleveland.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they have a style that is reminiscent of what Russ had when they had the Legion of Boom, where you had a good running game, but you could let him cook now, as we like to say. Maybe Baker Mayfield ends up in New Orleans. Chris Sims brought that up the other day. Deshaun Watson, Denver, Miami, Carolina. I'm not sure, but, it feels like that, when you start to look at somebody's going to get left out. And is it Denver? Do I want to go into the AFC West? As we just, pointed out, Carolina, are they going to get it right this time? Do the Dolphins upgrade from Tua? Have they seen enough of Tua, good or bad? So I don't know. It's always fascinating, the reality show that is the NFL.
I think they got to move on from Tua. And I know that we're very careful about activating Tuanon. They are very loud, they are very vocal, and they're very loyal. But just watch some of the lowlights from the Week 17 game against the Titans, including the Brucey from the longest yard moment where his arm goes this way, the ball goes that way. He's good enough. That's the thing. Are you tolerating good enough? Or do you want great? And it's clear that Stephen Ross, the owner of the team, wants great, and they've seen enough from Tua to come to that conclusion. Dan, one team you didn't mention that I think is going to be fascinating when it comes to these dynamics of offseason quarterbacks is the Steelers. Yeah. What are they going to do? Because it can't be Mason Rudolph.
No.
And Dwayne Haskins is buried on the depth chart. He hasn't done enough to supplant Mason Rudolph. So it tells me they're going to be looking somewhere for someone to step in. And that's an attractive landing spot for an established veteran quarterback because they got the defense, they got the coaching. Remember the googly eyes between Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin earlier this year when they played? If Aaron Rodgers is looking for greener grass, not that it's very green in Pittsburgh this time of year, but boy, that's a spot where he should at least be wondering, how would it go for me if I could land there?
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater will probably end up there.